Today we're going to start our Sleepy Time Bear project. First, we're going to create our bear's bed. So we're going to make a rectangle that has 2 long lines and 2 short lines. This is going to be our bear's pillow. We're going to make it a winter pillow. So we're going to create some snowflakes. To create a snowflake, you make the letter X, and then you make the letter T on top of it. To add extra details, at the end of each one of our lines, we're going to add a V. And then we're going to keep repeating that, making lots of snowflakes, making an X with a letter T on top, and at the end, lots of letter V's. We're going to do that till we fill the space of our pillow, making it look like the pillow has a snowflake design. For the bed, we are going to create wavy lines. You can do this with a white crayon and a blue crayon. The white crayon right now will look like it's invisible, but once we add paint to it, it'll turn and show the white color like it's magic as we start to add our different colors on with our watercolors. So first, I'm adding more wavy lines. I'm then adding little dots on there to look like snowflakes coming down. If you want to add more snowflakes like we did on our pillow, you can do that as well. So we're just making it look like it has lots of little snow lines all over the bear's bed. Next, we're going to start to paint. We're going to be using our temper cakes. We've used them before. You wet your paintbrush. You'll then take that brush. I'm going to pick a blue because we're making it look like snow. You just add a little bit. Remember, we're not pressing hard or stabbing it. You're just gently, making that paintbrush go over that dry paint, and that attaches onto your wet paintbrush. You can then start to add it onto your pillow. As we add it onto the pillow, it starts to make it where we're seeing those colors that we added before, and we can also see all that wax crayon that we had just put down, because wax is a resist for our watercolors. So we're just adding our paint, and the more water you add, the more paint you will have. So you can go back into the water several times, making it where you're moving that paint around on your paper. I'm using a purple. This is another cool color that we can use for snow. You can add blues, you can add purples. If you want to go into the white on there, you can do that as well. So it kind of makes it look a little bit snowy on your bear's bed. Our next part on this project is we're going to start to create our bears. We're going to be using markers for this. So when we use our markers, we take our cap off. Try putting the cap on the back of your marker so we don't lose it. I'm using a brown for my bear. If you want to use a different color on your bear and make it more like a teddy bear, you can do that. But I'm using a brown, so I'm making it look like a real bear. You only have to pick one bear. I'm picking the girl bear. Maybe you want to pick the boy bear. Okay? So I'm taking my markers, coloring it in the colors I want for my bear, staying in the lines. Once I finish coloring in my bear, I'm going to add texture onto my bear using a black marker to create broken lines. So I start adding some broken lines to add fur texture onto my bear. Once you've completed coloring in your bear, you're going to pick an accessory for him, like something he wants to sleep with, or if you pick the boy bear and you want to have him have a sleep hat, you can make him have a sleep hat. Or maybe you didn't like the girl's bow and you wanted to have a sleep hat. You could do that as well. I'm picking Rocky for my character that my bear is going to sleep with. Maybe you want to pick the doll. Maybe you want to pick the teddy bear. It's your choice. Okay? You only have to pick one of the accessories. There are 4 to choose from. Next, we're going to start to create the blanket for your teddy bear. Now, we're making it look like a quilt. I've added some horizontal lines. I've added some vertical lines. You can then think about what kind of patterns or designs you want that blanket to have. Remember, his bed has a winter theme. So you want to think about what winter means to you. What colors might you use? I'm adding some blue squares to go with the snow theme. I added trees. I added snowflakes. I added snowman. I added a gingerbread man and a gingerbread house. I created a reindeer. So there's lots of different things you could add. It's up to you what you add on the blanket. Be creative with it. Think about what reminds you of winter. Think about some blankets that you have at home. Color it in neatly and completely. Now we're going to cut out our teddy bear. So we're going to be using scissors. Remember, we put our thumb in the small circle. We then put our fingers in the big oval. I always put one finger out as my guide finger so it holds my scissors better. Remember, the scissors always point away from you. You turn the paper, not pointing the scissors towards you. That's for your safety. Remember, when we use scissors, we are only cutting paper with scissors. We're not cutting our hair. We're not cutting our clothes. We are not swinging them around. We are safe with scissors because we want to make sure we're cutting neatly and respecting our scissors, making sure that we are using them correctly. Notice I turn the paper and it is pointing away from me. I'm taking the time to make it chomp like an alligator, opening and closing our scissors, opening and closing, cutting close to the line of my teddy bear. I'm not cutting the teddy bear to pieces. I'm looking at my lines. I cut the teddy bear out, I cut the feet out, and I will also cut my one accessory out. Once we have our bear, his feet, and what he's going to use to sleep with, we're going to use our glue stick. Remember, the glue stick is a pull. You pop it out. You only use a little bit of glue, not a lot. Make sure you just twist it down to where you just have a little bit. Whenever we want to glue, we flip the paper over. Remember, we're gluing around the edges of our paper, making sure we have enough glue so that it will stick. I then place my teddy bear where he's on the pillow. I'm not pressing down on the hands because I want to add a blanket. I'm going to take the blanket. I'm going to go around the edges. Remember, you flip that paper over so we're not putting the glue on top of the part that we drew on. So once we flipped it to where we're gluing it down, I'm going to double check to make sure the hands stay down. I'm also going to add my accessory. I'm having Rocky sleep with our teddy bear. So I add Rocky in the teddy bear's paw. Once I have my teddy bear and Rocky glued down, I'm going to get his feet and I'm going to glue the feet where it looks like it's popping out of the blanket. When we finish with our glue sticks, we want to always make sure that we twist it down and make sure you put the cap on it and then make the cap where you hear the click noise. Our I cans for this project are: I can create line, I can use watercolors correctly, I can learn how to cut with scissors, and I can use a glue stick.